Hello everybody, welcome to my new Sunday market breakdown. So we'll go first over the DXY. What I can see on the DXY is still that we can have that upside momentum, even if we have that weekly bearish candle close as an indication that we can potentially go to the downside because we have that natural W. So the market is still bearish for me on the weekly. The monthly is still bullish on the monthly lows. That's why we are rejecting from this monthly zone here. But on the weekly, we are still bearish because this high wick, so this was the last high wick here. This is one impulse for me because these wicks go over into each other. So this is one impulse. So that's why the market went here and stopped. So we have here the same lows, so we expect the same highs. So this is our natural W. So yeah, I expect that the price can come back to that weekly highs, and from there we can have some more downside momentum to potentially make here that bullish M and go further to the upside, or we can go just to the downside to make here a descending channel to the downside. This is possible, but we have that weekly bearish candle close, so we need to look more on the daily what there is happening. On the daily, you can see that we have still bullish momentum. We have that first leg, second leg, third leg, fourth leg, bullish M that can play out till the daily minus 27. So the daily minus 27 here, like this, almost aligning with that weekly high. So we can have here a tap and then we can go to the downside. So what we can also see is we had here an impulsive move, and then we had some fake out flag that can happen here. I think it didn't close, not that yet above that zone. I will see if we closed above it. We just closed below it. So this can be a potential smaller bearish W that can play out. And then we have that impulse, and then we have that correction counter to the trend for potential more upside momentum. So what I can see on the DXY, if I go now to the 4 hour, the 4 hour is bearish for me. And on the daily, it was also giving a sign for that smaller bearish W. So the 4 hour, yeah, we can go in a corrective nature here, and then we can bounce to the upside from there. So I expect the DXY on the daily that we can go to the upside and then potentially go into that weekly high. But we will see what will happen. It can just going for the downside momentum closing below, and then we can make here a pattern within a pattern, bearish W within that head and shoulders. So we'll see what will happen. The daily is still bullish. Then I will go over my first 4 hour scenario, USDJPY. This is a trade that can already play out on Monday because I can take my limit. So on the weekly, what can we see? On the weekly, we are bullish. So we had here our low, we had there our low, and this is our new high. Low, higher high. So we have that bullish M that can play out, and we had here also this big selling zone, which we broke to the upside from. So we have that weekly bearish candle close, which is an indication potentially that we can touch this weekly resistance zone that can act like support for more upside momentum. This is potentially possible, but I will look first on the daily because the weekly is bullish. So we can see on the daily that we have a bullish M. We have that first leg, second leg, third leg, fourth leg coming back with 1, 2, 3, 4 candles, 4 daily candles. So it's not that convincing that it will go more to the downside because it's very corrective moving here to the downside. And now we have that indicational daily bullish candle close for potentially more upside momentum from that daily IC candle. When we touch the daily IC white zone, you can see the bulls kick into the upside from that daily candle. So I went then to the 4 hour, and what you can see as on the daily set, this is very corrective price action. As you can see, very corrective moving. And now we broke out of that descending trend line here, holding the price down. So what I can see, we have that shoulder 1 here, head, shoulder 2, and within that we have a smaller bullish M that can play out. So pattern within a pattern. So I expect that we can go after that impulse. We can make kind of fake out here, and then we can go to the upside. This is potentially possible. Stop loss just below the 100 here. not that far away from the beginning of correction because we have a pattern within a pattern. We don't need to set our stop loss that wide. So this is the first trade, then Euro CHF on the weekly. What I can see on the weekly on Euro CHF is we broke this weekly lows, this higher low. This was our high, and we came very correctively counter to a trend, and now we broke it. So it's an indicational bearish sign because we broke that weekly low here a week. As you can see, we broke it, we closed below. So, and now we have that weekly bullish candle close. But I can see this was our clear support, which can become resistance, and this candle is already rejecting on that part. I will see if we have also a weekly supply and demand zone. If I look further, we have here some clear support. So this is a very clear region. And yeah, this is all of that. So I will look now a little bit closer. The weekly is clear for me because we have that weekly bearish indicational trend. And we have that weekly supply and demand zone holding the price potentially to the downside. So then I went to the daily. And what I saw on the daily, this daily high didn't got broken yet because this is one impulse for me. These are the same lows, so this is one leg for me. So we are still in a bearish trend and we can have a potential pattern. And you can see on these daily highs, we have already an indicational candle, bearish candle close. So then I'm until a 4-hour. And what I can see, which pattern we can have a bearish W above the previous higher low. So this is our higher low. If we tap this higher low here, then it's invalid for me. Normally, for my rules, I need to test it also when we touch this and then that it's still valid. That's the thing I need to test for now. But now I will just use this strategy, this bearish W, first leg, second leg, third leg, fourth leg, going back to that previous high. And then we can take the trade limit set for going to the day 4-hour minus 27. And then we can go to the daily minus 27 for around 7% will be okay. 7 stop loss above that fake out of the daily highs week. So yeah. Then NZDUSD, this is a trade that can play out tomorrow or yeah, Monday, Tuesday. We'll see what will happen. So on the weekly, what we can see on the weekly, we are still bearish. No, I think yes, we are indicational bullish because we broke this week high here. This is the break of that. So this is one impulse, so it's indicational bullish. So this can be one whole correction on its own, a very long one. So this can be our descending channel, pulling the price down. I think if we have a third candle touch of that, no, not yet. But maybe a fib completion. This can also be, yeah, we have not yet a minus 27 completion. So we can still go to the downside, or we can come back after that heavy impulse to the downside to act like resistance here because this was all support. So we can there act like resistance for more downside momentum. So we have that weekly bullish candle close as indication. So then I went to the daily, and what I saw on the daily right now is that potential shoulder 1, head, shoulder 2, inverse and shoulders already coming back with that yeah, smaller indicational bearish candle. And then I want to see on the 4-hour some, yeah, I want to see that touch a pattern on that daily head and shoulders here, potential decel or a pattern in the form of an head and shoulders, or that bullish M here, taking it to the upside. So yeah, this is what I can see on NZDUSD. And if we expect the DXY to go to the upside, then NZDUSD will go to the downside. So we will see what will happen with NZDUSD and on the DXY, what will happen there. Then GBPJPY on the weekly. What I can see on the weekly, we broke out of these weekly highs here. And yeah, we are bullish. So we can look for bullish potential momentum. So I went to the daily. And what I saw on the daily, we have these same highs here on that bullish market structure. So this is the first leg, second leg, third leg, fourth leg, or you can do it like this: first leg, second leg, third leg, same highs. So we expect same lows. So this is the natural M. So I want to see the price going back till the daily lows, and there I want to see a pattern on the 4-hour. And on the 4-hour, what can you see? Price is already moving very corrective with that trend. So I can expect that the bears are kicking in from that point because the bulls are tired, and then we can touch these daily lows, and then we can make a decel pattern, inversion and shoulders or bullish M. We will see what will happen there. Then AUDCAD. So AUDCAD on the weekly, what you can see, the weekly is bearish. What we can have after that rejection candle, we can have here potential trade that can act like support here, and here resistance for more downside momentum, but I think it will not touch that because we have still that weekly bearish candle close, so we can fill that wick in for potentially more downside momentum. So then on the daily, what you can see on the daily is a bearish W. So we have here our first leg, second leg, third leg, fourth leg, and then we have already a rejection of the daily highs, and then we can go to the downside till a potential daily minus 27. So it touched already the daily high, so I went till the 4-hour. And on the 4-hour, we can potentially make diesel here, but the price is already closing very big to the downside. So this diesel is not that convincing for me anymore to take it here. Right now to take a limit after the market gets open. So what we want to see is a potential bearish W here for taking a trade to the downside, or we can touch this daily zone again with 4 pre-candle closes, and then we can take our limit after the third candle close. So we will see what will happen. And then the last one, CHFJPY on the weekly. On the weekly, what can we see? We have a bullish market, bullish M on the weekly. We have here our first leg, second leg, third leg, fourth leg coming back with that weekly bearish candle close already. We have that indicational candle, so I think the price can potentially go more to the downside. We are still in a bullish market, but that doesn't mean we cannot look for a short. So I went till the daily, and on the daily, what can you see? A potential head and shoulder. Shoulder 1, head, shoulder 2, then we can go to the downside till the daily minus 27, and then we can have here this kind of structural ascending trend line here holding the price up. This can happen. So on the 4-hour, what can you see? Yeah, it's moving very corrective, counter to the trend. So as you can see on the 4-hour, this is one impulse to the downside, and now we have some corrective nature counter to the trend. So it's a nice sign that the bears can kick in from that daily head and shoulders. Now we can go to the daily minus 27 potentially. So I hope you had a nice trading week, and yeah, I hope you have also a nice trading week for the upcoming week, and see you next week. Bye.